Radio check 1 2 1 2.
Is Beano Nation in the building? Put those emojis in the chat.
That's my gang.
Yeah.
Woke up still grinding, dreams don't drift away. Blueprints on the table, paint the path my way. Stacks on my desk, starting out the day. Ideas lifting off, I'm the engine in place. Caffeine in my bloodstream, rhythm in my chest. I move with intention, never settling for less. Life is a chessboard, I'm 3 steps ahead. While they fade in dreams, I'm making that bread. Overload, but I still ride slow. Pressure on me, but it helped me grow. Overload, feel it head to toe. Still I hold the line when the storms all blow. Overload, but my heart won't break. Turning all the weight in the moves I make. Overload, yeah, the climb I take. Building up a world only real ones make. They turn 9 to 5, but I'm breathing the grind. Turning losses into lessons, polishing the mind. Phone buzzing, daily opportunity speaks. While they chase distraction, I'm reaching my peaks. Call me Alice, world weight on my spine. Every scar earned, made the blueprint refine. While they binge on noise, I'm ready for the climb. Turn a single spark to a fire divine. Numbers in my sight, dreams in my hands. Building every day with deliberate plans. I'm the pulse of the hustle, the strength in the night. Turning every shadow into sun with light. Overload, but I still ride slow. Pressure on me, but it helped me grow. Overload, feel it head to toe. Still I hold the line when the storms all blow. Overload, but my heart won't break. Turning all the weight in the moves I make. Overload, yeah, the climb I take. Building up a world only real ones make. Weight on my shoulders, but I walk with grace. Turning every trial to a milestone place. Late night stack, but it sharpen my aim. Every sacrifice fuels a fire in my veins. Overload, but I shine through rain. Turning all the pressure into gold from pain. Overload, but I still remain. Standing on the grind that became my lane. Overload, man, I won't let go. Every setback just another push to grow. Overload, watch the empire glow. I was built for the heights, now I rise, now I know. Overload, but I move with soul. Holding every dream like it's made of gold. Overload, but the truth I hold. I was built for the climb, now I rise and unfold.
If we agree with you, then we're black. We love black people. If we find ourselves in opposition to what you say, all of a sudden we hate ourselves and we hate black people. Who died and left you that kind of authority with your opinion? Who? Tell me.
Let them talk, baby. They don't know what we got. I see them running in the streets, chasing after crowns, trying to be the loudest voice in every single town. They say I'm moving backward cause I like to serve my king, but they don't know the peace and the power that you bring. I'll keep your plate hot, I'll keep the house still. I love to be the soft place where you can heal. They call it slavery, I call it devotion. While they drowning in a sea of mixed emotion. If loving you right makes me a pygmy, then baby pick me. I'm exactly where I wanna be. I don't want the headache, I don't want the fight. I just wanna be the one holding you at night. I follow your lead, I let you take control. You got the vision, baby, you got my soul. Call me a pick-me, call me a fool, but I'm the one winning while I'm lying next to you. They brag about being boss, they brag about the grind, but look inside their eyes, tell me what you find. Microwaves, dinners, and a pillow full of tears, trading a family for a couple lonely years. I respect your frame, I respect your mind. Yeah. A masculine love is so hard to find. I ain't competing, I ain't keeping score. You handle the world, I handle the door to your peace. Let the new age girls argue on the net. Let them argue. They haven't found a man that they can trust yet. I'm catering to you, body and soul, playing my position, playing my role. You protect, you provide, I submit, I reside in your kingdom. Wanna be the woman that you adore. I follow your lead, I let you take control. You got the vision, baby, you got my soul. Call me a pygmy, call me a fool, but I'm waking up happy, lying next to you. Let them stay mad, we'll stay in love. I'm your pygmy forever. Forever, 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 yeah.
No, chill for what? Who is this nigga?
You said the mask don't fit me, but it's glued to my name. Every headline paints me wicked, 'cause I won't think the same. You see trouble when I walk in, like I set this place on fire. But I just talk like my granddaddy, and it cuts through all your choir. You want me to be the villain, so I'll be there, I'll be there. Not a shadow that you're killing, I'm the storm that's fighting back. I'm not a villain, I'm a super villain, that's a fact. You wrote the script, I'm just living, so I'll be there, I'll be there. You get nervous when I'm smiling, 'cause you know it's not for show. I won't bow to your approval, I'm too grown to play that role. You throw labels like they shackles, try to change what I believe, but your story got a plot hole when I'm the one that's free. You want me to be the villain, so I'll be that, I'll be that. Not a shadow that you're killing, I'm the storm that's fighting back. I'm not a villain, I'm a super villain, that's a fact. You wrote the script, I'm just living, so I'll be that, I'll be that. Call me heartless, call me crazy, call me every name you know. All that talk just turns to power, watch my true colors glow. You want me to be the villain, what you're killing, I'm the star. I'm not a villain, I'm a super villain. That's a fact. You drew the line, I crossed it grinning, so I'll be that. I'll be that.
If they push me to a certain point, I'll mess up in front of everybody. Yeah, I have the capability to just go there because it's just the way I'm brought up. Like, I never, ever, I never ran from anything because I didn't have nobody to go to. I've always had that, where I'm going. Home to get me. Ain't nobody there.
Yeah. They know my name, they know my work. They still throw dirt. Ha! Yeah. Been a decade in the game, 10 plus in the rain. Been a king from the mud, turned up on them every string. They were lurking on my chat, screenshotting every frame. Took my slang, took my cadence, then pretended we the same. They was praying for my downfall while they copying my blueprint. Yeah. Every topic that I touch, turn the trend, now they abuse it, use it. They be whispering in DMs, plotting on me, try to stop my rise, stop my rise, stop my rise, stop my rise. Try to ice me out the story, still I burn right through the lies. Yeah. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. Say my name, can steal my style, never steal my hands. They can throw that dirt, still I rise again. You can hate my goods, but watch me rain. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. They can twist my words, never twist my stance. Blame me for it all, I just take that chance. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. No, they was flagging every upload, sending shots behind the scenes, posting pictures of my family, trying to crack me at the scene. Drop my name up in the phone, type my address on the site. Thought the fear would make me vanish, told them pussies catch a flight. Every time they build a boycott, I just build another brand. Turn a smear into a slogan, made a movement out to slander. Understand, they be calling me the villain, why they quoting every line. I'm the mirror that they scared of, so they cover up my life. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. Say my name, they can steal my style, never steal my hands. They can throw that dirt, still I rise again. You can hate my goods, but watch me rain. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. They can twist my words, never twist my stance. Blame me for it all, I just take that chance. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. Nah. They gon' blame me for the storm, blame me for the rain, blame me cause I said it, just remember we ain't the same. They gon' cry by my tone, but they study every take. You can hate on every move, you can cancel what I made. Nah, I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. Say my name, they can steal my style, never steal my hands. They can throw that dirt, still I rise again. You can hate my goods, but watch me rain. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. They can twist my words, never twist my stance. Blame me for it all, I just take that chance. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. Yeah, they know I'm best, and that's why they hate the man.
You are now rocking with the best. Support the angry man. Support the stream.
Son of her raising no delay. This life don't wait, so I'm on my way. Feet hit the pavement, sunrise grinning. Life's a roulette and I'm always spinning. Pocket full of dreams, got the world in my hands. No map, just vibes and unplanned plans. Sweat on my brow, running wild through the city. Clock ticking loud, but it ain't that gritty. Spill my soul like ink on a loose leaf. Every breath a moment, no time for grief. Full throttle, no brakes, I'm flying. Every second counts, ain't no denying. Living for the now, future can't wait. No rewind button, I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. I'm on in my face, oh, yeah. I'm on in my face. Heart like a drum, beating fast, no pause. Life's a movie real, I'ma start with no flaws. Cup running over, champagne fizz. Every day's a blessing, yeah, that's the biz. Jumping over hurdle, life's track and field. Every scar story, every wound's healed. Skyline's my ceiling, dreams stretch wide. Riding shotgun with hope, joy by my side. Full throttle, no brakes, I'm flying. Every second counts, ain't no denying. Living for the now, future can't wait. No rewind button, I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. Roll the dice, let it ride. Moonlit nights, ocean tide. Every heartbeat, a melody. Life's a stage, I'm a symphony. Slow it down, feel the sound. Breathing deep, feet on the ground. Then a spark, hit a call. One more run, give it all. Full throttle, no brakes, I'm flying. Every second counts, ain't no denying. Living for the now, future can't wait. No rewind button, I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. No rewind, no regret. Sunset phase, but I ain't done yet, yeah. I'm on in my face, yeah,
What's good? What's going on, everybody? We back in full effect. Press a 1 if y'all can hear me. Press a 1 if y'all can hear me clearly. If I ain't got too much background noise. I know y'all hear the chimes. Hope y'all don't hear the fan. Cool. So let me address a couple of things before we get started, because every time I do a show, there's always a couple of people that want to come in and try to derail the topic before we even get started. So let me just go ahead and address it, get it out the way. CEO Boss Bailey 80 said, if black hate was a person. Yeah, and your photo is if broke was a person. Let's see who's next. Let's see. We got Coffee Buttercream said, I just want to say Africans respect and like Americans. Who gives a shit? Then he said, we are one. Refer back to the previous statement. Then Reezy said it was not a disaster. Clickbait. If you say so. But to everybody in the building, we about to get to it. Somebody said add a little volume, please. Somebody please tell me, do y'all hear me clearly? Is it loud and clear? Let me check real quick. Let's see how clear it is. Let me check real quick. Oh, it's very clear.
See how.
Yeah, it's very clear. So let's see, who is that? Let's see. Ron O'Neill. You're out of here. Bye. See you. So, before we get into any of these topics, I'm going to just go ahead and give my disclaimer. And y'all know I always give disclaimers, but today is going to be different. Today is going to be drastically different. I debated whether or not I was going to do this. Now, some of y'all are probably like, do what, Angry Man? Give y'all some raw, uncut truth. And I know y'all probably feel like I already do that, but no. I usually censor myself. I usually do not allow you guys to see the depth of my thoughts because it might frighten you. You might look at me different. But you know, I'm to the point where I really don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm sliding comfortably into my villain era. And it feels good. I ain't even going front. It feels so right. It feels comfortable. But we're going to get to that in a second. Before we get to any of that, make sure you guys are supporting the show. If you want your messages to be read first, you got to get in on the Beano roll call. For those of you that don't know what the Beano roll call is, anybody that drops 20 or more at the top of the show, meaning right now, your messages will get read first during the Beano roll call. Now, if you want your messages read immediately, meaning the moment I see the message, all you have to do is be a sponsor or a super sponsor of the show, and I'll read your messages immediately. In order to be a sponsor, all you have to do is drop 100 or more. In order to be a super sponsor, all you have to do is drop 500 or more. Your name will go on the ticker, and we will most certainly shout you out, read your name, and you will have our undying gratitude. But let's get into it. So let me start by explaining to you why I feel like I'm getting comfortable in my villain era. I'm starting to realize that being comfortable in your villain era is not so much about becoming the villain and more about realizing you always were the villain. Now, some of you are going to be like, what do you mean, Angry Man? Are you trying to say you're evil? No, don't be silly. So you got a lot of clowns that roam the earth. And I did say earth with an F. And these mild-mannered simpletons believe that they are the main character of life, which is amazing considering how many people there are in the world. But there's a large percentage of them that genuinely believe they're the main character. And since they're the main character, they have to have a villain. They feel like they They feel like they're Batman, like they have to have a rogues gallery of villains, right? Shout out to my man Carell for being the first sponsor of the show. He said, "What's good, brother? Be blessed." Appreciate you, Carell. Let me get you on the board.
That's that Bino energy.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do. All right,
chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Shout out to Carell for being the first sponsor of the show. Appreciate you, brother. But back to what I was saying. You got all of these people that believe they are the main character. They have main character syndrome. And because they have main character syndrome, they believe that they're supposed to win. The only problem is the average person that has main character syndrome is usually a loser. I hate to have to put it that way, but it's the truth, right? And so because they have this distorted perception of themselves, right? If you're really a loser, but you think you're a hero, or excuse me, if you're really a loser, but you think you're a winner, if you come across somebody that's a hero, wouldn't you think they were a villain? Of course you would, because that's your backwards way of thinking, right? So you have these individuals, and when you encounter them and they're losing and they see you winning, they're going to automatically think, okay, you're the villain of my story. Because in their mind, you're not supposed to win. You're supposed to lose. They're supposed to be the winners. They're supposed to make the most money. They're supposed to drive the nicest cars. They're supposed to have the baddest bitches. They're supposed to, you know, wherever they go, people are supposed to roll out the red carpet. The trumpets are supposed to play. The women are supposed to swoon, and the men are supposed to admire them. Like, they believe that they are the hero of the story. So when you come strolling along, winning, not because you think you're supposed to be the winner, but because you actually put in the damn work. You actually grinded it out. When you come along and they see you, because they don't see your grind, they don't see the blood, sweat, and tears, they don't see the sleepless nights, they don't see the continuous grind, they think you don't deserve it, because they've already made up in their mind that they deserve it. So, of course, they're going to look at you like you're the villain. And I think that in life, you have to get to the point where you no longer give a shit. Because what I'm starting to realize is that the only thing that is better to a loser than vanquishing a person they believe to be the villain is for that person that they believe to be the villain to try to qualify themselves to them. In other words, that loser will feel a sense of satisfaction if they label you a villain and you try to convince them you're not. I'm not a villain. I'm a good guy. If you just get to know me better, if you just understood where I'm coming from, I got news for you. They don't care. They don't care. It's just like this jerk that came in here at the beginning of the show talking about some if hating black was a person. See, he wants me to try to qualify myself. He wants me to try to convince him, no, I don't hate black people. I'm black. I love my people. Like he wants me to do that song and dance. But what he doesn't realize is that he is a random person on the internet to me. Now, in his mind, he may be the main character. In his mind, he may be hot shit. He may think he the flyest dude on planet Earth. But what he doesn't realize about me is I don't give a shit who he thinks he is. I don't care about his hopes and dreams. I don't care if he had a bad day. I don't care about his plight. I don't care about his struggle. I don't care about his opinion. But the mere fact that he would come to a chat room and say that in the chat room lets you know that his narcissistic ass believes that everybody cares about his fucking opinion. It's the same thing with the other guy that came in here talking about some Africans like Americans and we all need to be one. And the only advice I can give you is you need to go get the band back together so you can make a We Are the World record. You know how many people are going to buy it? Goose egg. 0. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your kumbaya, stretch arms across America, across the ocean to Africa. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody gives a shit. Haven't you figured it out yet? Nobody cares, and I certainly don't give a shit. And I'm tired of pretending like I do, because what I do is I come up here on my show and yeah, I talk a little smack and I give you guys my opinion, but I always hold back just a little bit. You know, and the reason why I hold back a little bit is because I don't want you to view me. I don't want you to look at me like I'm a monster. I don't want you to look at me like I'm a monster. Not because I give a shit about your opinion, but because I'm still human. And I don't want people dehumanizing me. Right? I don't want people dehumanizing me. And then you got the other person that came in here and they said, it wasn't a disaster. Let me tell you something. A 60-year-old dude going out on stage to perform his hits from 30 years ago because he doesn't like the fact that a younger dude is getting most of the attention, that's a disaster. That's a disaster. You know how I know it's a disaster? Because I was a fan, and watching him go out like this is sad. It's sad. Like there's a thing where you're supposed to bow out gracefully, as opposed to going out bad. But I get it. I get why some of you probably ran to that concert and you know was out there throwing up the diamond and all of that shit, because you're trying to recapture your youth. You know, you're clinging to it the same way he's clinging to it. Because you're not comfortable in the skin that you're in. But back to these losers. So I've spent my entire life surrounded by jealous, envious haters. Now, when I was younger at the time, I didn't know that. But now that I'm older and wiser, I can look back on it and see it for what it really is, because we all know hindsight is 20/20. And in that wisdom, not only do I recognize the people throughout my life that were haters and jealous and envious because they had that main character syndrome and they did not like to see me do something that they weren't able to do. After all, I was a skinny, light-skinned kid with red hair. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know the prejudices that go, the prejudices that people have for gingers, right? If you don't know anything about, you know, white culture when it comes to that, you probably don't know there's a prejudice there, right? So imagine being discriminated against threefold. You're black. Already you're going to get some discrimination for that. You're light skinned. You're going to get some discrimination for that. And you got red hair. So you're going to get some discrimination for that. And you're a skinny little kid, right? So you got individuals that just did not want to see me win at anything. Anything that I was good at, you know, they figured out a way to shit on it. And see, the sad part about it is when you're a kid, you lack the confidence, you lack the maturity, you lack the mental fortitude and the know-how that that's what they're doing. You don't realize that's what they're doing. See, when you're a kid and people do that to you, you take it as a genuine critique. In other words, when people do that to you when you're a child, you think there's something wrong with you. Because you ask yourself, why is it that person doesn't like me? Or why is it that person's hating on me? Or why is it that person is doing this or doing that, right? So you internalize it. And when you internalize it, it messes with your self-esteem. Messes up your self-esteem. You feel me? And I'm not joking. I'm talking about the type of shit that you quite possibly would need to go get therapy for, right? Many of us don't, right? Now, me, I had a lucky situation. I had a wonderful twist of fate, right? Because when I was younger, coming up, a lot of the people I was around was alphas, right? And I'm going to tell you something right now. There is nothing more infuriating, frustrating, or complicated as being a Sigma coming up amongst a bunch of alphas. See, alphas don't like to be upstaged. Alphas don't like to be, they don't like people outshining them, right? So as a young man being around these alphas, I'm not even going to front. They did a lot to mess with my self-esteem. Now, luckily for me, I had a grandmother that was not only wise, but always knew the right thing to say and had no problem, never minced words. So if somebody said something crazy about me and I went and told my grandmother would roast the shit out of them. She'd be like, who said what? Oh, I know they ain't talking. And then she would go in on them. And I would giggle and laugh and I would feel better. Right? Now, one of the things that happened, which was a twist of fate, which was really fortunate for me, when I was in, I say middle school, when I first started going to middle school, we moved away from where I was at, where I was surrounded by nothing but alphas. And I was in this new place, new school, and I wasn't surrounded by a bunch of alphas. In other words, I was actually in a place where I could be comfortable being me. And a lot of y'all may not realize that sometimes the best thing for you to do, if you're somewhere where there's a bunch of people hating on you and a bunch of people coming at you crazy, sometimes the best thing is a change of scenery. Sometimes the best thing is for you to leave and go somewhere else, because everybody doesn't act the same everywhere. You feel me? So when I went to this new place, this is when I got my first girlfriend. Damn, Aunt. This is when I got my first girlfriend. This is when I got better friends, got a little bit of popularity, which helped tremendously with my self-esteem. And I think I told y'all this story before. I went to this new school, first day of school, didn't know where to catch the bus at. There was a bunch of kids and there was this one girl, really pretty girl, really beautiful girl. She was like, I know where the bus is at. You can walk with us. And she's just talking my head off and I'm just listening. And she was like, you can be my new boyfriend. Now, unbeknownst to me, this was one of the most popular girls in the school that I was about to go to. So not even a week. I wasn't even in that school a week. And I already was popular just because I'm talking to this girl. And fast forward to when I moved back, because we moved back because my grandmother has a house that she's always kept. So no matter where we live, we always kept that house. That house is in the family, in an area where all of the houses is family and shit, right? So we moved back. And when we moved back, this is when I found out the world I was really living in. Because see, prior to that, I didn't know what it really was, right? So let me give you an example. So before I moved away, all of the alphas around me that was acting the way they were acting, they were forcing their opinions and their views of me onto me, right? Like trying to make me a flunky. Now don't get it twisted. I resisted that type of shit, but to a degree, I believed the hierarchy. You understand? So before I left there, my perception of the world that I lived in was these guys were higher up the chain than me. So these guys would be the guys that would get the phone numbers, they would get the girlfriends, they would be the star athletes, they would be all of these different things, right? They would be the leaders, all of these different things. And me, I would just be lower. In other words, being around all of them alphas, they was trying to force me to be a beta. Right? Now, the only unfortunate part about that type of situation is the only way you can stop an alpha from trying to get you to be a beta is you got to fight them. And the sad part is, if you're not capable of beating them, I mean, what are you going to do, right? So, and by the way, there is a solution if you can't beat an alpha. I figured that out later, right? And you kind of figure that out when you get a little more confidence. But basically, before I moved away, these nigmas had me on track to being a beta below them. Right? Now keep in mind, this is early years. This is before 11, 12 years old. So these is early years, right? And by the way, if you don't know, this is when young boys figure out who they are in them early years, right? That's why you got to be careful who you have your kids around. You got to be careful what kids you let your kids play with, because other kids that are more dominant and more domineering, they'll force a personality onto your kid. They'll force a position onto your kid, and you won't even realize it because you think it's just kids playing. And you don't even realize that there's this kid that's dominating your kid, and that kid dominating your kid is going to shape their personality, especially if they are consistently around that other kid, right? So I moved away. I had all of those different events happen that gave me more confidence, better self-esteem, all of those different things. When I moved back, the alphas around me, family and friends, they thought that I was going to fall right back into that place that they wanted me to be in. It's kind of like in Back to the Future. You remember in Back to the Future when Marty goes to the soda shop when they first get to the future, and he goes to the soda shop, and Biff comes in there, right? Or excuse me, Griff. Griff comes in there, and he grabs Marty's son, and he's bullying him, right? And Marty's son is kind of like, "Oh, come on, Biff," you know, all of that goofy shit, right? And he throws him over the counter where Marty is at. But when Marty stands up, he looks just like him, but he's got a different look about him. Griff is like, he could tell immediately something was different, right? I had one of those moments. When I came back, these alphas thought they were going to come at me the way they used to come at me, and I just wasn't going for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first example was we all went to this ball game, right? We all went to this baseball game. And we're at the baseball game, and there's a cute girl that's helping out at the concession stand. And I see the girl, and I'm like, I'm going to get her phone number. And a couple of my cousins, this alphas, they was like, man, she ain't going to give you her phone number. What you thinking about? She going to give me the phone number. You know, that whole you not good enough bullying bullshit, right? And I'm like, man, what is you talking about? Because, see, at this point in my life, after I done went to this other school and I done had girlfriends at this other school, I know for a fact the girlfriends I had at this other school look way better than anything that these niggas ever talked to. And now I got some experience dealing with chicks, even though I'm at the time I'm like 13, something like that, right? So I'm like, okay, I tell you what, let's make a bet. Now keep in mind, they're already looking at me like I'm crazy because they're like, where is this confidence coming from? Because before that, I was kind of quiet, you know what I'm saying? Not really assertive, right? So I'm like, let's make a bet. I said, I bet you. Yeah, you up out of here, buddy. Bye. Deuces. So, like I was saying, before that sucker came in here. See, that's another prime example. You saw what he just did. Land the plane. I'll land the plane when I get ready. So, this is the reason why. This is the reason why dudes like you, that dude that just said land the plane, this is the reason why dudes like you don't have YouTube channels that's millions of subscribers, because you think you know how to speak to an audience. You don't. You don't know how to hold an audience's attention or captivate them. So sit back and shut up. You might actually learn something. Audience requires context. So I said, let's make a bet. I bet you $10. Keep in mind, back then we kids, you know, $10, that's. I bet you $10 I get her number and you don't. In fact, you can go over there and talk to her first. You can go talk to her first. And so one of these alphas, they go over there, they shoot their shot the way an alpha does, you know, all of the cocky, goofy shit, right? Get shot down. I go over there. I start a conversation with her. I get the phone number. It was in that moment. And I know most of you are going to be like, oh, yeah, that's a win. That's a triumphant moment. Nah. Wasn't a triumphant moment. And I'm going to tell you why it wasn't. There is nothing in this world that pisses off an alpha more than when they've known you your entire life and they believe wholeheartedly that you're a beta and they find out you're not. Now, keep in mind, back then, we didn't know what alphas and betas were. I'm just using those terms right now to describe it so you get an idea of what I'm talking about, because we know what that is now. We know what that phenomenon and that behavior is now, right? But there's nothing in this world that will piss off an alpha. Keep in mind, an alpha is going to get pissed off if you upstage him anyway. If you beat an alpha at anything, sports, fighting, getting girls, making more money, it's going to piss them off, right? But what really pisses them off is when they have made up their mind that you're a beta, or even worse, that you're a lame, and you got the girl's number and they didn't. This is where it started. This is where it started. And I'm going to tell you what ends up happening. Moving forward, what the alphas do then, they dirty Mac, they backbite, they talk down on you. They do everything in their power to try to put you in your place. See, this is where the beginning seeds of the villain comes from. This is where the beginning seeds of the villain comes from. And by the way, right now, as we speak currently, none of those alphas are doing better than me in life. None of them, right? So now you got to deal with this. See, before you didn't have confidence, before you didn't have good self-esteem, before you didn't have any of those things, right? And keep in mind, it wasn't hard for this to be an issue before, because, you come from a family where you don't really got that much money, so you're not wearing name brand clothes to school. You're not wearing the best sneakers, so it's easy for them to try to put you in a category. But by the time I came back, I'm wearing better clothes, I'm wearing better sneakers, I got more confidence. So now it's not about finding your self-esteem and confidence as much as it's about defending it. Now you got to defend it. And defending it is a full-time job. It's a full-time job. So when I say to you that I've spent the majority of my lifetime dealing with haters, jealous, envious people, and keep in mind, I'm not talking about strangers. I'm talking about people you're close to. I'm talking about people that's standing right next to you, people that you're friends with, people that you're related to. I'm telling you right now, bro, it's diabolical when you think about it. You're like, damn, bro, can I live? Can I breathe? Does it hurt you this much to see me get a win? And the truth is, it does. It does. It hurts them. I genuinely believe it gives them migraines. It gives them physical pain. And the only reason why it does, and I've figured this out as well now that I've gotten older, the only reason it hurts them is because they're comparing themselves to you. See, if you look at somebody and you think that that person is a loser, or you think that person is a lame, and you've made up your mind that you're superior to that person, and then that person starts winning, that person starts exceeding you in multiple categories. Well, now you got to reevaluate yourself. And alphas don't like to reevaluate themselves. They don't like to look at themselves in that light because they've always viewed themselves as being at the top, and people around them confirm it. People around them make them feel comfortable at the top. And then somebody comes along that they believe should be at the bottom, but that person is winning in numerous categories, and it's like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be winning. I'm supposed to be winning. So then this is when they take it to the next level. Because when an alpha starts to feel like he can't beat you in certain things, he will resort to barbarism. In other words, if he realizes he's not smarter than you, if he realizes he can't get better pick of girls than you, he can't do certain things, he's not as creative as you, or he's not as articulate as you, or he can't make the girls laugh the way you make them laugh, now he wants to beat you up. His ego needs that, right? Now, the unfortunate part in this is where alphas shine. In fact, some of them I would wager are literally born with the gift of fighting, right? So I had to take some L's. Now, the only difference is, the only thing about it is, I can't say that I was bullied because I fought. You feel me? So it wasn't like, I'm going to punk you and then I'm just, no. No, I fought. Took my L, is what it is. But this is what I figured out about that. Alphas are talented at fighting. Some of them even like fighting. But they don't want to fight you every day. They don't want to have to keep fighting. And they definitely don't want to have to keep fighting you if you're the type of person that will take it to another level. You know, and when I say another level, I'm talking about picking up random objects and, you know, they put you in a headlock, you bite the shit out of them, like stuff like that. You punch them in their nuts. Like they don't want to fight you when you're a dirty fighter. And you're not, and they know you're not going to take that L comfortably. They know they're going to have to fight you again. And there's no telling when it's going to happen because you're willing to surprise a nigga and ambush him just out of nowhere, just swing off on a nigga. So I figured out that cats will leave you alone when you start doing that. They still going to talk down on you. They're still going to dirty Mac. They're still going to do all of that stuff, but they get more hesitant. And I guess it's conditioning. Right? But again, I've dealt with this my entire life. In fact, I've dealt with it so much that I know 100%. That it's proof you're doing something right. It's proof that you're winning. I remember when I was in high school, we had moved to this other area. And we were in VA, and went to this high school. Now, in this high school in VA, you got pretty much, you don't have a real diverse group of people, right? You got black people, you got white people, you might have a few Mexicans sprinkled in there somewhere, but a very small minority, right? There was one chick that went to that high school that was bad. I'm talking about. And the chick was from New York. She was from New York. She was Puerto Rican. She was bad. And all of the dudes wanted to talk to her. And I got her. Man, you ain't never in your life seen the type of hate. You ain't never. And see, here's the funny thing. This is why I laugh every time I'm on panels and stuff. And dudes still talk about this type of stuff to this day. If you notice, when you're on panels, one of the biggest insults that people give on YouTube to other dudes is, man, you don't get bitches like that. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest insults that cats be giving dudes, because that was one of the biggest hurdles for a lot of dudes. Not getting a girlfriend, but getting a girlfriend they wanted. Not talking to a chick. Like, dudes is able to, if we being honest, a lot of dudes are able to talk to girls, but they not always able to get the girl they want. So that's where the problem comes in, right? That's where the problem comes in. And here's the thing about me. And I didn't know why it was happening back then, but I know now. So when I was younger, I wasn't like how I am now. The way I am now happened when I was about, I say 17 or 18, right? I think they call it coming out of your shell, right? So I think around 17, 18, that's when I came out of my shell. That's when I started being a little more extroverted, a little more, talkative, a little more whatever, right? But before that, I was more like my father. I was real stoic, right? I was real stoic. I didn't talk a lot. I talked, but I wasn't talkative. I wasn't the type of dude to just be sitting around, all that shit, right? I was the type of dude that was just laid back. You ever be in school and you see that one dude, he just laid back and he just seemed like he just chill, he just cool. He don't really say much. He just, he's around certain people that's popular, but he's the dude that ain't like that, like the Lloyd Banks type of dude. Like, I was like that. I was just, laid back or whatever, right? Now, back then, I didn't realize it, but nowadays, I realize that shit is super attractive to women. Women love the stoic, mysterious guy that don't really talk, because it's a puzzle. It's something for them to try to figure out, right? So, in school, by the time I got to high school, I didn't even have to shoot my shot. I didn't have to shoot my shot. Because if there was a girl that cats liked, all of them would be trying to talk to her, and she would ignore them, but I would be the one that wasn't trying to talk to her. And every time it would happen, it just kept happening over and over again. And I ain't gonna lie, back then I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was just physical attraction. I didn't know what it was, but I didn't have to shoot my shot. I didn't have to holler. You feel me? I didn't have to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? I just was chilling, and the chick would be like, a chick would talk, would like come up to me and be like, hey, and I'd be like, what's up? And she'd be like, I see you all the time with so and so. What's your name? And I tell her my name. I'd be like, what's your name? And she'd say her name, and she'd be like, do you got a girlfriend? And I'd be like, nah, I ain't got no girlfriend. And then she'd be like, you can be my boyfriend. I'd be like, okay. And I was just chill like that. And then me and the chick, we probably talked for maybe a few weeks, maybe a month. And then, you know, she'd be like, you know, because in high school, girls, they fickle, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, she'd be like, yeah, I don't think I want to be in a relationship anymore. And I'll be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't care. I didn't care, bro. I didn't give a shit, like, at all. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I was, for one, I had so much going on outside of school in my personal life. I had real struggles in my personal life. You know what I'm saying? Like, real struggles. So I wasn't really thinking about that type of shit. So it just, you know, it was what it was at the end of the day, right? But I never had that. I never had those issues that a lot of dudes come online and they be talking about, right? And even back then, like, what helped me was when I moved away that first time. What helped me was me getting that first girlfriend. The first girlfriend I had was a baddie. Me getting that girlfriend and having to deal with her goofy shit, because she was goofy. She was pretty as hell, but she was goofy as hell, bro. And when I say goofy, I mean all of the games that y'all see women playing as grown men. As grown women, she was playing them games back then, bro. So I got a crash course at 12 years old, the type of time, because she was like, you know how when you kids, you might meet a girl that's fast and grown and grown acting and you know, all of that shit. Shorty was grown acting, bro. We was 12. She was acting like she was 17 years old, bro. Shorty was trying to sneak me in her house to have sex, all types of shit. And played all types of mind games. All types of mind games. Like real talk. Like, bruh, to this day, I have never met a chick that plays that many games. So I was well versed. You feel me? And I figured something out. At 14. After all of that, after that experience, because after her, every chick I talked with, it was easier. And I figured something out. At 14. And it's the coldest thing for you to figure out at an early age. And it's part of this villain shit. And I would tell y'all what I figured out, but I don't even know if I should tell y'all. If I tell y'all, you said at 12, yeah, at 12. I was 12, she was 12. And I was acting like a 12-year-old. She was acting like a 17-year-old. She was acting like she was damn near grown. But I tell you what, figured out something at 14. At 14 years old, I figured it out. And it's one of those things, and I figured it out sitting in my room on the phone with a chick, another baddie that a bunch of cats wanted to talk to. I figured it out. And I don't even know if I want to tell y'all this. If I'm keeping true to what I said at the beginning of the show, I should just tell you. But I feel like it would be irresponsible for me to tell you, because if I tell you, I'm probably going to make some monsters, because this thing that I figured out at 14 years old served me well through my whole entire life and would serve me now if I was a single guy. Y'all want me to tell you? You want me to tell you the secret? The secret of how a dude can pretty much get and have any woman he wants. All you need is a conversation. If you can get her to converse with you, you can get her. You can get her. He said all the single guys like, say it. All right. I'm gonna tell you, but you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta prepare yourself for this shit. What I figured out at 14 years old is that when it comes to dealing with women, you got to be a scumbag. You can't be good. You can't be a good dude. That's the secret. That's the secret. You can't be a good dude. Now, I need you to keep in mind, I'm not telling you to be no abuser. Okay? I'm not telling you that, right? We're not talking about that. That's not being a scumbag. That's being an abuser. I'm not telling you that, right? Don't do that. What I'm telling you, when I say you can't be a good dude, I don't mean be a horrible dude. That's not what I mean. What I mean is you got to be not good. In other words, you can't be going out of your way. Like all of that crap you see in the movies where dudes is buying flowers and writing poetry and opening doors, and you can't do none of that shit, bruh. None of it. And everything you hear a woman say that she thinks a good man is, write all of that shit down. Every single thing that a woman says, when a woman says, I think a good man is this, and this. Whatever that list is, write that whole list down, memorize it, and do the complete opposite of it. Do the complete opposite, bro. Do the opposite. Especially if she's bad. Especially if she's a dime. You need to be the most aloof, nonchalant, I don't give a F type of dude walking the face of the earth, bro. And look, women are going to tell you, you know, there's even women in here right now. They probably going to say he lying. And the reason why is because they don't want you to know what their kryptonite is. Their kryptonite is the dude that doesn't care. That's their kryptonite. That's their kryptonite. But see, this is how I got to work. First, you have to attract them. Okay? And the way you attract them is by being mysterious, by being stoic, by having an I don't care attitude, right? But you got to balance it. You got to balance it. You gotta walk a thin line between seeming to show interest, and then the moment she realizes that you're showing interest, start acting like you ain't interested. It's like juggling or balancing some. It's like one step forward, two steps back. It's like you get the phone number and you call her and you have an awesome conversation with her. And an awesome conversation is you just listening to her talk. If you just sit there and listen to her talk and just give answers that give her the ability to talk more, and you just listen to it, she'll think you're the most awesome communicator on planet Earth. And then after you have that, I call it a marathon phone call. After you have that marathon phone call, that first phone call where you talk to each other and she thinks it was the most awesome conversation, when she calls you the next day, don't answer the phone. In fact, never answer the phone when she calls. The only time you talk to her is when you call her. When she calls, don't never answer the phone. Don't never answer the phone, and don't even text her. Don't do none of that shit. Don't do none of that shit. Because if you do that, if you don't text her and you don't answer her calls, she's gonna think you're entertaining other chicks, which you probably are, but you want her to think that. See, if you answer the phone every single time she calls, then she knows that you're definitely into her, and she knows that you're definitely not entertaining other chicks. But if she calls you, you don't answer. She texts you. You don't answer. You don't respond. She think you're talking to other chicks. And the moment she thinks you're talking to other chicks, that's when her competitive nature kicks in. And when you talk to her and she be like, why you don't never answer the phone? It's because you talking to other chicks, ain't you? What? Man, you tripping. I'll be busy. That's it. I'll be busy. That's it. Don't go into no explaining. I'll be busy. Or worse, don't even have the conversation. If she says to you, if you're on the phone talking to her and she's like, yo, I got a question. What's up? Why you don't never be answering the phone when I call? What? Why you don't never answer the phone? Hold on for a second. Hey, let me call you right back. Click. Let me call you right back. And then don't call her back that day. Call her back the next day. Or the day after that. And some of y'all dudes gonna be like, but yo, what if she lose interest? So that's the point. You gotta not care, bro. You gotta not give a shit. You gotta not care. You gotta genuinely not care. That's the thing. See, that's the hard part. You have to genuinely not care. Genuinely. See, let me tell you something that I've noticed in my life. And you've probably noticed the same thing. I have never seen a good man in a relationship with a woman that was worth a damn. I'm going to say it again. I have never seen a good man in a relationship with a woman that was worth a damn. But I tell you what I have seen. I've seen plenty of good women. Plenty of women that will go above and beyond. Plenty of women that will sing that their mentality is that Tony Braxton song, I love me some him. I've seen plenty of women like that with dudes that were not good guys. Now, if they stay together and get married, well, then the guy will tone down the... See, you can give a shit about your wife. Okay? But even that, you have to temper that. You have to balance that. But if you just out here dating, you just out here dealing with random chicks, you can't give a shit, bruh. You can't. You cannot. And see, because this is the reality. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you guys a question, right? Because you'll see plenty of good women that are with reformed ain't shit dudes. You'll see plenty of good women, and the woman be with the dude, and the dude be chill and shit, and the woman to be like, yeah, he was hell back in the day. He used to cut up. He was this. That's the only time I see a dude with a good woman is when he used to be a womanizer. He used to be a player. He used to be on some bullshit. That's the only time, bro. Every guy I know in my life that is a good dude, I'm talking about straight and narrow, do everything he's supposed to do. He on that happy wife, happy life type shit. They always got horrible women. Always. Always. It never fails. And see, I'm gonna ask y'all this question. I'm gonna ask y'all this question. When have you ever seen a woman talk about a man being a good man when she's no longer with him? In other words, in hindsight, when have you ever seen a woman say, my ex was a good man? When have you ever seen that? Have you seen it? So let that Let that swirl around in your brain for a second. I want you to think about that for a second. We know for a fact there are good men out here. We know this for a fact. So are we supposed to believe that every single woman that had a failed relationship, the dude she was with was a horrible dude? No, we know that ain't true. And you know how we know that ain't true? Because women don't leave horrible dudes. They only leave good ones. Women don't leave horrible dudes. They only leave good ones. See, I figured this out a long time ago. A long time, and it served me well. Okay. Served me well. I watched as I was growing up. I looked at the men in my life. When I was a kid, I looked at them. I looked at all of the men that were good dudes. I got an uncle that's one of the best dudes you could ever know. Stoic, don't argue, work like a dog to take care of his family. His wife was horrible. 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 I've even seen women in a relationship with a good dude treat the dude like crap because he's a good dude, and then break up with the dude, and then the next dude they get is a horrible dude and treat him like gold. I've seen it more times than I can count. And this is what you dudes got to realize. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to be cold-blooded, but I got to say it. It makes no sense for you to be a good man because most of these women don't deserve one. Say it again. See, I would rather be the guy that a woman broke up with, or I broke up with her, and she say, oh, I can't stand his yellow ass. He wasn't shit. I would rather for her to say that and it be true than for her to say that and it be a lie. And that's real. That's just real shit. Now some of y'all gonna say, well, Angry Man, are you a good dude to your wife? Yeah, that's my wife. That's my wife, but my wife is a good woman. You feel me? But when I was younger and I was out here dating, I was hell. I was, bro, I was hell. I was hell. And even my wife, if you would have asked my wife, if you asked her when you first met Angry Man, what was he like? At some point in that description, she gonna say I was conceited. She gonna say I was mean. She's even gonna say there's certain things I did that she didn't like. We don't go through none of that now. You feel me? We don't go through none of that now. But God forbid if it's kind of like the pigs, right? Most people don't know this, but when a farmer has pigs that are kept in the farm, right? Their hair is thin. You know, they got hair, but it's so thin you can barely see it. And they're domesticated or they're calm. You feel what I'm saying? But if you were to take one of those pigs out of that farm and put it out in the woods where it just has to survive, over the next few weeks, that pig will turn into a boar. His tusks will grow. He'll get dark, thick fur on him, and he'll become wild. Now, I'm saying that to say this. If God forbid, that's why I always laugh when dudes on the panel say, you don't know what it's like out here in this dating world, angry man, because you ain't been in the dating world. You married. And I'll be like, nigga, please. Please. God forbid if my wife broke up with me and I was single again, just like that pig that reverts back into that boar when he's in the wild, I will revert back to a ain't shit dude. I will revert back to a straight up savage and be on some bullshit all day, every day. And cats that know me the way I am now and see me out there, they'd be like, what the hell? Bro, what type of time you, what? I'll be a whole savage out here in these streets. And bro, you can't listen to look. This is what you got to realize about chicks, right? Once y'all break up, whether you was a good dude or not a good dude, she's going to talk about you like you weren't a good dude. When you break up with a chick, and this even applies if you divorce a chick, once you and that chick, the only time a chick talks about you in a positive light is when you're with her. That's the only time. The only time that you ever gonna get a chick talking about you in a positive light is when you're together. Once you're no longer together, she's not going to talk about you in a positive light. And the reason why is because she can't be the villain of the story. You got to be the villain. It has to be your fault that the relationship didn't work. So they're never going to talk about you in a positive light once you're no longer together. They're not going to do it. But here's the thing, because I need you to pay real close attention to that, because the opposite is true. When you're no longer together, whether you were good or bad, she's going to say you were bad. But while you're together, whether you're good or bad, she's going to talk about you like you're good. So the choice is yours. While you're together, do you want to be the good guy that she's going to take advantage of? Or are you going to be the asshole that she loves and never tries to take advantage of? That's your choice. That's your choice. That's your choice. And it ain't nobody's choice but yours. Because one thing I know about women, if you're a good dude, and when I say good, what I mean is you're going above and beyond. You know, you're the guy that always answers the phone when she calls. You're the guy that comes running whenever she needs something done. You're offering things before she even asks. You buying flowers and all of this stuff, and you just doing everything in your power to be the best man on planet Earth, right? The moment that you do that, I don't know what it is, but biologically, something clicks in a woman's mind, and she just immediately starts taking you for granted. She immediately starts treating you like a sucker. She immediately starts treating you like you ain't shit. This is why when I see women talking about where are all the good men at? I just want a good man. Like they're lying. They're full of it, bruh. They are full of it. Because the moment they get with that type of guy, they're going to walk all over him. They're going to walk all, I'm talking about they're going to walk all over him so bad that even her family are going to look at it like, that's a shame how she treat that man. And I'm going to tell you why. Women look at men like that, and the way they perceive men like that is you don't respect yourself. They view that as needy. See, a guy that does all of that, even if you're genuinely doing it because you're just a good guy, they don't view it that way. They look at it like you're trying to get their validation. You're trying to get them to approve of you. You're going out of your way because they view that in numerous ways. They view it as weakness. They view it as insecurity. They view it as you trying to hold on to them. On some, only reason he's doing this is because he's afraid I'm going to leave him. Only reason he's doing this is, and then you start looking like something that's not attractive. You feel me? You're a footstool. You're a plaything. You feel me? You're not the Louis Vuitton bag in the Louis Vuitton store that she can't afford, that she presses her face against the glass and stares at every time she goes to the mall. You're the bag that she could afford that's sitting in the closet collecting fucking dust. You're the bag that she could afford that's sitting in the closet collecting dust that she never uses. But when you're the guy that doesn't buy the flowers, she's waiting for you to buy them. One of these days, he's going to buy me flowers. You're the guy that doesn't answer the phone. She wants to know what is he doing? Why he ain't answering the phone? When she throws a tantrum or does something to try to get attention from you in any way she can, and you don't give that attention, she's trying to figure out why. Why is he not giving me attention? Am I not good enough? See, now she's getting to the point where she's trying to qualify herself to you. She's trying to win you over. Now she's chasing you. And y'all are together. You're together and she's chasing you. And she'll even have conversations with her family, her homegirls. She'll complain about you to them. Oh my God, he do this and he do that and the chick would be like, well, why don't you leave him? And she'd be like, I don't know, it's just something about him. It's just something about him. I don't know what it is. I know what it is. You haven't conquered him. He's elusive. You don't know what he gonna do. Shit, he don't answer the phone half the time. He might be somewhere across town with another chick. You don't know. Because you don't know. It's that lack of control. Because she's convinced herself that eventually I'm going to get control over his ass. Eventually. Something's going to work. I shouldn't be telling y'all this shit. I shouldn't even be telling y'all this. My Chinese zodiac sign is the horse. Y'all will probably notice if you go to the Beano Nation store where I got my merchandise, you probably see this mascot I got that's a golden horse, right? You don't want to be the horse that's pulling the wagon. You don't want to be the horse that has the saddle on it. The horse that got the reins on him, where she can just get on top of you and pull the reins and you take off running and she can kick the side of your stomach and you stop, and you don't want to be that horse. You want to be the horse that's running in the field, free, untamed, unbroken. You feel me? You want to be the horse that they got to walk up to real slow. Oh, there, buddy. Oh, buddy. You know why? That's respect. That's respect. The horse that has the saddle on him and is getting kicked with them spurs is not respected. The one that don't got the saddle on him, that you got to be careful around because he might kick the shit out of you. You respect that horse. You don't play with that horse. You don't want to be that little dog that she puts the little sweater on and shit and takes little goofy pictures and shows it to her friends. You don't want to be the little dog she puts down the paper and you got to pee on that paper and she takes you for walks with a leash on you and shit. You don't want to be that dog. You want to be the wolf. The one that can never be tamed. The one that howls at the moon. The one that runs with the pack. And here's the thing, you got to be proud of it too. Don't be the horse that's trying to pretend that you can be saddled and all of that shit. No, wear that shit. Own that shit. Own it. Own it, bruh. And even for you married dudes, I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with you. When you marry, they'll start thinking that you're that little dog with the leash, and every once in a while, bro, you gotta growl. every once in a while, you gotta growl, you gotta bark, you gotta howl at the moon to remind them, look, we kicking it, we together, but you have not tamed me. I'm not domesticated. I'm not a servant. I'm not a tool. You feel me? See, a domesticated dog, a woman that owns a domesticated dog, that dog is there for her protection. That horse she rides is there to carry her where she needs to go. That's a tool, that's a utility. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that. Because she'll keep that dog until that dog get old, and then she'll go get another one. She'll keep that horse until that horse can't pull nothing no more, and then she'll send his ass to the glue factory and go get a new horse. But that wolf, she's able to go around that wolf, and that wolf is cool with her being around. She's just happy to be around it. She's just happy to be able to say, hey, look, there's a wolf out there, and you know how wolves are. They mean, but he'll come up to me. He'll come up to me. He'll let me pet him from time to time. But I'm still careful. But yeah, you can't be a good dude. You can't be a good dude. The moment that you act like a good dude, you just prey. You're just a meal for a man eater. And trust and believe, I done seen many men get devoured by women. I'm talking about be broken. I know men that's older. They all decrepit and shit. Dementia. Don't even have they sound mind anymore. But the woman they was with, she ain't got dementia. She ain't decrepit. She's still good. She's still chilling. These women, bro, you got to understand something about them. If you let them, they will erode your will to live like waves crashing on a beach. You see them waves coming in? It don't look like it's doing much. But over time, just crashing. That's what women do over the years. If you let them nag you, if you let them get on your nerves, if you let them treat you like a utility, like a horse, like a horse that pulls their carriage. If you let them do that, they will erode your spirit. They will break you down physically and mentally. That's why it's not a game. It may sound like I'm joking, but I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. It is not a game. You can't never let them extinguish that fire that's inside you. You have a fire inside of you that you can't never let that shit get extinguished. Because here's the irony. The irony is once it gets extinguished, that's when they leave you. That's when they leave you. Once they figured out that you're willing to do any and everything for them, you're willing to go above and beyond. No, the word no isn't even in your vocabulary. Once they know that for certain, that's when they start looking for another dude. And the sad part is, by that time, it's too late for you. And I know some of you are going to say, well, once that happens, so what? I can go get another woman. Nah, bro. Nah. Because once you get broken by that first woman, you going to catch hell with every woman after that. Because your spirit is broken. You don't have it in you. The fight ain't in you no more. It's gone. That's why if you notice, a lot of the dudes that are good dudes, once they wife has used them up and divorced them, you notice they never get in a new relationship. They never get married again. They be old dudes, they just be single. They might have them a little sugar baby that they pay their little bills just so they can get their rocks off or some shit like that. But so far as getting into a whole nother relationship, they're not gonna do it. They're like a boxer that's been beat up so much. You feel me? They don't want to get back in that ring. They don't want to get back in that ring because they know they can't take them punches no more. Let's see how many Beanos we got so far. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Yo, shout out to Carell again for the double up. He said, what it is, good brother. Be blessed. Appreciate you, bro.
That's that Beano in.
Been doing this for a long.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums,
ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Let's see, how many is that? That's 7. 1, 2. Oh my God. What's going on the Cash App side of the game? Where's the support at? All of this game I done gave y'all today. All this game I done gave y'all. Support the show. So that's the other thing too. When you hear women saying there ain't no good men and they ain't never had a good man, don't believe that. They've probably had plenty of good men and drug them. They probably had plenty of good men and broke those men down and moved on. Because see, here's the thing. They got short memories. They never remember the dudes that was good dudes. They only remember the dudes that was bad dudes. And the reason why is because they'll put all of their energy and effort into making a relationship work with a bad dude. They're not going to put no energy and effort into making a relationship work with a good dude. They're going to take the good dude for granted until he either gets tired of it and leaves, which is rare, or she gets tired of him being good and leaves him, because good ain't exciting. Good is not exciting. Good is not exciting. Good is predictable. Good is boring. You ever hear a woman say, I was bored, or, you know, the spark is gone and all of that goofy shit? That's just babble. That's just babble. So again, can't be a good dude. Just can't be. Even if you're a good dude at heart, you got to suppress that shit. You got to suppress that shit. In fact, I'm gonna tell you like this: if you get ready to do something for a woman, and you got to ask yourself, should I do this? If you have to ask yourself, should I do it? If you have to ask yourself, is she gonna appreciate it? You probably shouldn't do it. That's a general rule of thumb. If you getting ready to do something, if you're getting ready to do some grand gesture and you're wondering if she's going to appreciate it, don't do it. Don't do it. But anyway, let's get to this Beano roll call.
Beano check. If you're in the building, show your work. Drop 20 on the Super Chat or Cash App.
Yo, shout out to Lotus Flower. Said love and support. Appreciate you, sis. Shout out to KC. Said, what's good, AM? Yo, I listen for the pure authenticity. I see exactly how much you care about the Black community. Harsh criticism comes from love for the thing you're critiquing. This is how I am with my own family, no doubt. Shout out to John. He said, getting surgery today due to a doctor screw up. I will need your advice down the road. Word. I hope you hope everything goes straight with you, brother. Appreciate you. Shout out to King Cato. He says some Beano energy. Appreciate you. Shout out to Sigma. Sigma the Prince said, that's a fact, AM. I am a living witness to this. No doubt. Shout out to Young Illuminati. He said, watching on the Rumble side. Appreciate you. Let's see. Shout out to Quentin. He said, thanks for the stream. And again, shout out to my man Carell. Appreciate you. Let's see. Shout out to Quentin on the Cash App side. He said, thanks for the stream. Shout out to Carell again. And shout out to Tahiri. Said support. Appreciate you. Let's see. Shout out to John. He said, AM, these women are terrible with money. They will break your pockets if you're not careful. Dead weight liabilities if you ain't on your P's and Q's and stay on their helmets. No doubt. So, like I said, man, I am comfortably in my villain era. And I ain't even gonna lie to you. One reason I know I'm comfortably in my villain era is because if I do something that even remotely seems like I'm doing something hypocritical, I find myself having this uncontrollable urge to do this. Well, I don't care. Don't, because at the end of the day, it don't matter. It don't matter at the end of the day, because the people that have everybody's opinion of you is what their opinion of you is. And it rarely changes. So trying to convince people of your good nature, if they don't think you're a good person, you're wasting your time trying to convince them that you are. In fact, you might even be setting yourself up for some BS. Because if a person thinks you're not a good person and you go out of your way to try to convince them, they will take advantage of that. The moment that they see you're trying to convince them that you're good, they will take full advantage of it. And the reason why is because, for one, you shouldn't be trying to convince people that you're good, because most people aren't good. Most people aren't good. So it really doesn't make any sense to try to convince a person who's not good that you are good. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. The only thing you should be doing is just do you. Do you. And if you know for a fact in your mind that you're not doing anything to bother anybody, or you're not doing anything to mess up anybody's life, who gives a shit what people think? Who cares? Who cares? The people that rock with you gonna rock with you anyway. Shout out to Martin. He said, bruh, that short you did with the girl flooding her house had me on the floor. You said that's God telling you to have several seats. Stop trying to be a stripper and sit your ass down. Hysterical laughter. No doubt. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, the people that rock with you gonna rock with you. And the people that stop rocking with you, well, at the end of the day, people ain't gonna pay your bills for you. They're not gonna take care of you. They rarely gonna look out for you when you need it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time caring about what people think about you. It's a waste of time caring about people's opinions of you. It's a waste of time trying to convince them of anything. Like, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. But to get to the main topic, so I don't know how many of y'all saw this concert that Jay-Z did at Yankee Stadium. Somebody came in here and tried to say, oh, it wasn't a disaster. Okay, so if it wasn't a disaster, then explain to me how you had people that rushed the stadium that didn't pay for tickets. And because of that, they had to lock it down. Security had to lock it down. And once security locked it down, there was a bunch of people that paid that wasn't even able to get in there. And the show was supposed to start at like 9 something. It ended up starting like 12 in the morning. And look, I already know what it is because my wife went to one of Jay-Z's concerts back in, I want to say 2018, something like that. And she was talking about how they had to wait outside for like 2 hours, right? So you're not going to tell me that it wasn't a disaster. I know it was a disaster. But that's not the part that I want to talk about. The part that I want to talk about, and I just want to see if anybody else sees what I see, right? To me, I feel like it's a reach, right? So when Jay had the locks, or whatever, right? People was all on the internet trying to say it was a wig. So because people were saying that, in addition to the fact that Drake just called him out, it's like he came to the internet wanting to prove something to everybody. So he's allegedly had his locks unlocked. And so he came out on stage with the fro, did the freestyle. A lot of people wasn't feeling it. So then he went and got his hair cut. He went and got the low cut Caesar. Not to mention, he didn't just get it cut. He sat in Yankee Stadium and had Beyoncé cut his hair and did a video of it. And to me, I'm sitting back like, bro, why? It's like you really care that much about what people think. And it's funny because Dame Dash called it out. Before he even did the show, Dame Dash said, yo, we not feeling it. When you do this show, you need to go back to the old Jay-Z. You need to have on some Timbs. You need to get a low-cut Caesar with the Yankee hat. You need to, and that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. Now, I don't know how y'all see it, but he did this concert, and it's clever because it's a 30-year anniversary joint, right? So it would make sense that he would bring certain people out. But in my opinion, and like I told you, I'm a fan of Jay. I just don't like the way he moving right now. Because the way he moving right now, it seems very... I'll put it to you like this. Coming up, Jay-Z always seemed to be a very confident dude. I mean, confident to the point of arrogance, like to the point of creating this aura around himself. You know, it's Hove, you know, the God. Like he had this arrogance about him, this confidence about him, as if he couldn't be touched. And right now, he seems to be really bothered by Drake throwing shots at him. He seems to be really bothered by this. And I know I'm not the only one to see it. Because you do this concert, you bringing out people you ain't rocked with in years. You ain't rocked with some of these folks in years. And you bringing them out. It's almost like, hey, everybody, stop paying attention to what Drake's doing over there. Look at me. Look at me. I'm Jay-Z. Look at me. That's how it's coming off. Am I the only one to see this? Am I the only one to see this as this is some insecure type shit right here? And it's like, bro. And look, you got people coming to the internet to defend him, trying to say, oh, y'all youngins, y'all just don't understand. If you ain't never, you don't understand Jay. If you ain't never had to sell drugs to take care of your family, and you ain't never had to. And look, I got news for all of you dudes that's from the Gen X era talking like that. It ain't just the young people that see the cracks. It ain't just the young people. A lot of us see it. Some of us just don't want to say it out of loyalty. Some of us just don't want to say it because we don't want to talk down on one of the dudes from our era. But it's like one of those moments where, to me, it's like when these old chicks are dressing like the young chicks and going to the club and trying to be like what he's doing right now looks no different to me than what Lisa Ray is doing. It looks no different to me than what Vivica A. Fox is doing. Like trying to recapture a moment in time where all eyes were on them. And it's like, bro, Eminem said it in a song. What's the name of that song that he had with Nate Dogg on the hook? To the roof, I can't shut my mouth. To the what is the name of that song? I think it's on the Eminem show. Till I collapse. Let's see. There's a part that Eminem said in there, right? So in the second verse, Eminem said, music is like magic. He said, music is like magic. There's a certain feeling you get when you reel and you spit and people are feeling your shit. This is your moment. And every single minute you spend trying to hold on to it because you may never get it again. So while you're in it, try to get as much shit in as you can. And when your run is over, just admit when it's at its end. And I think that right now we're watching Jay-Z not understanding that his time is up. As far as him being the main guy, like it's like he doesn't want to close that chapter and move into the next chapter. And it's like, bruh, it's not your era anymore. It's just not. It's not your era anymore. And the crazy thing about it is you got so many people that got so much criticism for Drake. They're like, oh, Drake don't realize it's over. Drake is too old for this. Well, if that applies to Drake, what the hell? What does that say for Jay-Z? Said 50 knows his time. That's exactly why you don't see 50 out here. You don't see 50 out here trying to make new music or trying to recapture that era. Like, sure, 50 will go on tour, he'll do his shows and stuff, but 50's moved into another space, like with these movies and TV shows and all of this stuff he's doing. He's moved into a different space. It's like Jay don't want to let it go. And I keep seeing people online saying, well, why does Jay-Z keep doing these freestyles? Have y'all seen people say why he keeps doing these freestyles? I'm gonna show you exactly why he keeps doing these freestyles. I'm gonna show you exactly why. Hold on. Tell me if y'all can hear this. Press a 1 if y'all can hear this.
A little bit. Just about like what he meant to the culture and maybe meant to you personally.
By the way, the first time I boycotted the Grammys was for him. We both came out that year. He didn't get nominated. He dropped 2 albums, had 2 #1 albums in the same year.
Right. I remember that.
They didn't even nominate him. I won that year for rap album. So my first Grammy win, I wasn't in. I wasn't even in the building because I boycotted him. So there was a competitive thing, but it was big love. He was so competitive with me. I never met a human being more competitive with me, like ever. Not even my big brother. Like no one. We met battling. That's how we met. We was in the Bronx in the pool hall. After that battle, he went to like a show. He got on stage, Jay-Z, where you at? I was like, this guy is nuts. He was just all passion. My fondest memory of DMX is he improved my stage show. Remember, rap tours wasn't going out at that time. There's no rap tours before. Right. Maybe the Fresh Fest in the 80s or sometime, but there's no rap shows. Me, DMX, Method Man, Redman, Ja, The Lox, this tour is packed. First night, 360 sold out. Everyone has a great show. Meth and Red are flying in the audience. They're incredible performers. Everyone's destroying it. So X is about to go on, and I'm like, I want to see. I got like
X is before you.
X is going before me. The lights are up. He's in the hallway. It goes doom doom. And now the arena's shaking, and I'm like, this is cool. And then it goes doom doom, and then he goes, and the fucking arena goes crazy. First of all, it's deafening, and I'm like, oh shit. He's running back and forth. He has a thing like an Alizé and Hennessy mixed. It looks like blood. It's like he's drinking blood, right? And he's running back and forth. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go, 1, 2. And going halfway through the show, then he takes his shirt off. All the girls are screaming, ah!
And the dog chain.
Yeah, the dog chain is tripping and he's going nuts, right? And I'm like, shit. This is halfway through. Now first the guys are going crazy. Now the girls are going crazy. And then he gets to the end and he starts a prayer.
Oh my God.
And now they're crying.
Yeah.
The whole arena is crying. Yeah. They're crying tears. And I'm like, they're like, hey, now you go. And I had Hard Knock Life on, so it was like, it's a hard knock life. Put your hands up, people. Everybody finished the show that night. Everybody's happy, by the way. And I was like, we got 56 dates of this shit? And I was like, but I had to figure, I'm like, okay, I have to figure out my space in this.
Yes.
I have to figure out where do I exist? And I was like, in my opinion, in my mind, this was.
He said, I have to figure out my space in this. Keep that in mind. He said, I have to figure out. So X just did a phenomenal show ahead of him. We got 56 dates of this shit. How can I compete with X when I know he's a better performer than me? Okay? This is what he's saying. So this is what he came up with.
This is what I believe. I was like, he can't rap better than me. So on that tour was the most acapellas ever. Everything was, cut the music off. I'm the dookie doopie doo.
Now, you heard what he said. In order to compete with X, who went before him. Now, he said he's a better rapper than X. I disagree. I disagree because you're comparing apples and oranges, right? Jay-Z is a rapper like Jadakiss, Fabulous. In other words, lyrical, okay? You're not going to get a lot of stage performance from Jay-Z. That's the whole reason why Dame used to be up there doing all the dances and shit, because Jay-Z just going to stand there and rap. He's not a performer the way X is, right? So Jay-Z is in that category of the Fabulouses, the Jadakisses, the cats that's going to give you lyrical wordplay and all of that shit. DMX is in the category of a Tupac or a Scarface. They're not going to give you a bunch of lyrical wordplay, but the shit they say hits so hard that it don't matter, right? So DMX, you know, even Tupac, if Tupac come out on that stage, it's going to be lit because what he's saying is hitting hard and he's a performer, right? DMX is a performer. So Jay-Z knew I can't compete with him on his stage performance, but I can lean on my lyricism. And so I'm going to do acapellas. So to everybody on the internet right now wondering why he keeps doing freestyles, because that's what he does whenever he feels like he's up against something that he can't really compete with. See, the only problem right now is he's doing this because he feels threatened by Drake. And the shit that he's doing right now, it's not going to work with Drake because Drake is just as lyrical. It ain't going to work. But this is the reason why he's doing it. This is the reason why he's doing it. He's like, okay, I can't beat him at this, or this. So I'm going to do my acapellas and show my lyrical prowess and stuff. And right now, Cats is not going for it. The people from Gen X era, they like it because that's our era. But he doesn't realize that the rap game has evolved. You can't just be, you can't be a rapper that leans on one thing. You have to be a rapper. You have to be a more well-rounded rapper. You got to be a more well-rounded rapper. You can't just be somebody that just spits lyrics. You can't just be lyrical. You feel me? So if you're ever wondering why he keeps doing acapella freestyles, that's the reason why. In fact, watch this. And cats know it.
All right. Too many nights. Mm-hmm. We've had too much fun. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Two on the jersey, but we're here for the one.
Sold out. Yeah, I did sell out. 3 nights. I sold Yankee Stadium the hell out.
He's making fun of Jay. So you got Drake out here. You got one of them.
To the ones I loved and to the ones I hated. And to the ones that are here to celebrate the greatest. I'm not done. Hold on.
Hold on.
All right. Too many nights. Mm-hmm. We've had too much fun. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Two on the jersey, but we're here for the one. I would have thought of that too. Yeah. I was thinking that. All right.
So Drake is at a birthday party or some sort of celebration, making fun of Jay-Z freestyle. Making fun of Jay-Z freestyle. And look, you want to know why Drake is on that type of time? If you remember, back in the day, on Drake's album, If You're Reading This Is Too Late, the song Know Yourself, he said, running through the six with my woes, cutting money, you know how it goes. Pray the real live forever, man. Pray the fakes get exposed. I want that Ferrari, then I swerve. I want that Bugatti just to hurt him. I ain't rocking my jewelry, that's on purpose. Niggas want my spot and don't deserve it. I don't like how serious they take themselves. I've always been me, I guess I know myself. So when he says, I don't like how serious they take themselves, that's why whenever they be doing stuff, he be making fun of them. He be making fun of them niggas. Like, right now, whether anybody wants to admit it, and some of y'all gonna think I'm crazy for saying this. Some of y'all gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but I gotta say it. If we're really looking at it, Drake has had a more successful career than Jay-Z. Drake has had a more successful career than Jay-Z. Does anybody disagree with that? Because you got to think, Jay-Z didn't become a billionaire off his music. But can you say that about Drake, though? Like, seriously, who's made more money off of their music? Jay-Z or Drake? Who's had a longer run? Jay-Z or Drake? Now, the difference is Drake was on top, literally on top for his run. Jay-Z wasn't on top for his run. I showed y'all that. Every year that cats be claiming Jay-Z was running shit, somebody else was above him. Every single one of them years, like that run that everybody tries to give Jay-Z, every one of them years, somebody else was above him. Even the year where he had his biggest record was Hard Knock Life. That was his biggest record. That's the same year that he really popped is the same year DMX had 2 platinum albums. Now, when you look at the two artists, as much as Jay-Z gets on the mic and talks about the industry, Jay-Z's the industry favorite. Jay-Z was the industry favorite between him and DMX. X had 2 And look, I see my man, Famous Davis. Famous Davis can't stand Drake. And I know there's a lot of y'all that don't like Drake. I don't even have to do the Jay-Z Drake comparison. I can do the DMX and Jay-Z comparison. I can do the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z comparison. I can do the Nas and Jay-Z comparison. I can do the Jay-Z and Lil Wayne comparison. I can do the Jay-Z and 50 Cent. There's so many comparisons that I could do where if you really like, and look, I'm not taking nothing away from Jay's lyricism, his business acumen, all of that. He's one of the greats. But there's so many people that you can compare him to. There's so many people that you can compare him to. Like, I just saw Lupe Fiasco try to say something about Nas. Do you realize if you compare Nas lyrically to anybody, niggas will look at you like you crazy? If you fixed your mouth to say, you know, so-and-so is more lyrical than Nas, niggas will look at you like you crazy. And the reason why they'll look at you like you crazy is because Nas was lyrical before Cats was really lyrical like that. Nas was doing some shit. Nas is up there with Rakim because he was doing some shit lyrically that Cats wasn't doing at that time, right? So when you look at Nas, it's hard to compare him to other lyricists. When you look at DMX, it's hard to compare DMX to other rappers, period, just because of what he was, right? When you look at Biggie, it's hard to compare other rappers to Biggie because of what he was. Same thing with Tupac. The only one that you can really compare to other rappers and people will present an argument is Jay-Z. Is Jay-Z. I want you to think about this. There's been a lot of tracks that had DMX and Jada on it. You know what you've never heard anybody say? Jada killed X on his own track. You've never heard nobody say that. But you've heard plenty of people say that Eminem killed Jay on Renegades. You've never heard anybody say so-and-so killed X on that track. Anytime X was on a track with other people, he stood out. See, here's the thing that nobody wants to admit, and I'm willing to admit it. Jay-Z's rise may not have been as big as it was if certain people would have never died. Do we still get the same Jay-Z if Biggie kept living? If Tupac kept living? That's a serious question. Do we get the same Jay-Z if Tupac or Biggie was still living? Oh, don't even get me started with Big L. Biggie, Tupac, Big L, Big Pun. Somebody said Dame is the reason Jay is what he is. Look, I'm not even going to dispute that. I'm not even going to dispute that. But I wouldn't just say Dame. I would say Dame and Biggs. I would say Dame and Biggs. A lot of people don't realize this. Jay-Z started rapping in the 80s. A lot of people don't realize Jay-Z's peer group isn't DMX, Ja Rule, Wu-Tang. Like, that's not his peer group. Jay-Z's peer group is Big Daddy Kane, what's my man's name? Damn. What's my man's name? Big Daddy Kane. Damn, what's homeboy's name? Yeah, Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J. What's my man's name that was Cool G Rap. Thank you. Cool G Rap. That's his peer group. And the reason why you can't compare him to these other cats is because they popped with their peer group. Jay-Z didn't pop with his peer group. Jay-Z got hot after. And if you really want to be truthfully honest, he almost didn't. He almost didn't. If it wasn't for that Hard Knock Life track. If it wasn't for that, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for that Hard Knock Life track, people would be saying Jay-Z is an underrated rapper. And then on top of that, I'll tell you something else Jay-Z did too that nobody paid attention to. And this is why I say he's a good businessman. Jay-Z made sure to get next to everybody that was hot. He got next to everybody that was hot. He got next to DMX. He got next to Bun B and Pimp C. He got next to Pharrell. He got next to Kanye. He got next to Ja Rule. Scarface. Let's see. Tabor Forever said that's all he could do. Besides his market, he ain't it. Boys be glazing. Yeah, Eminem, Alicia Keys, Rick Ross. And look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wasn't, when Jay-Z first came out, I liked dead presidents. But them first couple of albums that he had, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Them first couple albums he had, I wasn't feeling that shit. I didn't really start feeling Jay like that until I want to say the Life and Times of S. Carter 2, maybe even further. I think I didn't really start rocking with Jay heavy until 98. I want to say 98. And even then, even then, my favorite rapper was DMX. You said Feeling It was your favorite. I hated that song. I'm feeling it. I hated that shit. That shit, you belong to the street. I hated that shit. I hated Sunshine. You always be my sunshine. I hated, bro. It was a bunch of stuff he put out. I hated. Because that album with that Sunshine sit on it, it seemed like to me he was trying to be like somebody else. Now, I liked Dead Presidents. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know the reason why I like Dead Presidents? Because it reminded me of AZ. When he linked up with Pharrell and put out Change Clothes, I hated that shit. I didn't even like It's a Hard Knock Life. I hated that shit too. One of my favorite albums from Jay-Z was the Dynasty album. Because if we really being truthfully honest, out of the whole Rockefeller camp, my favorite rapper was Bleak. My favorite rapper in Rockefeller wasn't even Jay, it was Bleak. And I'm going to say something else that cats don't want to admit. Beanie Siegel was a better rapper than Jay. Siegel was a better rapper, bro. Siegel was crushing it, fam. And Bleak, I don't care what nobody say. I feel like Bleak never got to realize his full potential. I really feel like Bleak was stuck in Jay's shadow. And you know what? I don't know. I probably hold that against Jay because I felt like Jay was going to pass the torch to Bleak. I really felt like he was going to pass it to Bleak. And I felt like Bleak was going to carry it until he passed it to somebody else, but it never happened. In fact, they even teased us with that shit, with that coming of age shit. New improved Jay-Z, right? Said Bleak wasn't marketable. No, Bleak was lazy. Bleak had that same issue that Lloyd Banks had. Bleak didn't have the same drive as Jay did. The same way Lloyd Banks ain't had the same drive as 50. It breaks my heart to say that because I love Bleak. I love Memphis Bleak. Can't nobody tell me shit about Bleak. Can't nobody tell me nothing about Bleak. But Bleak just didn't have the same drive. And he confirmed it. he confirmed it on Drink Champs when he said he was chilling in the crib, wasn't going to the studio and none of that shit. And Jay pretty much had to curse him out because he was lacking, you know. But I feel like, and look, I've heard people say this. I don't know how true it is because I don't know the details. I don't know the behind the scenes shit. But there's a lot of cats that be saying, yo, Jay didn't really want nobody in the camp to be bigger than him. And I don't care what nobody say. I think the only reason Jay and Dame fell out is when Dame brought Dipset to Rockefeller. When Dame brought Dipset to Rockefeller, I knew it was going to be a problem. I knew it was when I heard Cameron do that freestyle where he that show you how to do this, son, freestyle. Or when I heard Jewel said 2 more for Cam for taking over the rock, I said this about to be a problem. And the reason why I knew it was going to be a problem is because Jay-Z is the main dude in Rockefeller. Nobody else had the same ego as Jay. But Cam, and I told niggas that back in the day. I said, yo, Cam going to Rockefeller about to be a problem. And niggas like, man, you tripping, you bugging. I'm like, y'all ain't paying attention. Cam's ego is that shit. Cam's ego might actually be bigger than Jay's ego. And sure enough, when Cam got to Rockefeller, you saw what happened, right? You saw what happened. As soon as Cam got to Rockefeller, what happened? And I don't care what nobody say. That's where the divide started. That's when Jay and Dame started falling out. When that nigga said Jay, he said, you supposed to be the king of New York. How's the king of New York wearing shorts with chancletas? I said, oh my God. Bruh. And look, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. This is when you knew it was a problem. This is when you knew it was a problem right here. First, and just for the record, what did Jay put out that was messing with this? See, cats don't look. I'm a Gen Xer. I was there. I remember. Cats can try to do revisionist history and act like Jay-Z was tearing everything up, but bruh, nah. I'm sorry. What did he put out that was messing with this? Bruh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bruh. That shit, bruh. And look, let's be real. Now look. Niggas can talk as much shit as they want. They can talk about Rockefeller's wave, but nigga, Dipset had a wave, nigga. Bruh. Dipset had a wave, bruh. And see, here's the crazy thing, right? Because I got to point this out. Cameron adapted. Cameron is still relevant right now. Mace adapted. He's still relevant right now. 50 adapted. He's still relevant right now. Bootsy adapted. He's still relevant right now. Did Jay really adapt, y'all? See, I'm going to tell you what the issue is with me when it comes to Jay. Jay-Z doesn't realize at this point in his career, he's supposed to be the behind-the-scenes guy. He's supposed to be somewhere in a suit doing business deals behind the scenes. He's not supposed to be on the stage, man. He's not. I don't care what nobody say. He's not supposed to be on the stage, bro. That man is almost 60 years old. He's not supposed to be on the stage, fam. See, I'm gonna tell you what the problem was. I'm gonna tell you what the real problem is. You know the reason why Jay-Z didn't feel the need to really adapt? Y'all want to know the reason? There's only one reason. There's only one reason he didn't really feel the need to adapt. And y'all know what that reason is. RJ718 said you sound crazy. Oh, really? Explain to me how I sound crazy. There it is right there. There it is right there. Beyoncé. There it is right there. There it is right there. There it is right there. You said Nas is still rapping and his shit is dope. And he's still dope. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Nas has never been a diva. Nas ain't never been no diva. Nas has always been a low-key dude. Nas do not be out here trying to have ego contests and shit. Nas has a different level of respect in the game. You feel me? The way people, the way the culture looks at Nas is different. Nas has a different level because Nas don't really be out here doing goofy shit. Name the one time you see Nas out here doing something goofy. Like, name the time you see Nas out here doing something. See, the crazy thing about it is Jay-Z wanted the prestige, okay? Jay-Z wanted to be put here at the top in the minds of the culture. And you want to know what's crazy? He got there. Jay-Z was there. Jay-Z was there. All Jay-Z had to do was keep being low-key. Some young rapper 5 shots at him, ignore it. All he had to do was stay low-key and he would have remained there. Because he was there. Jay-Z cultivated. Look, I'm going to tell you this. Jay-Z, the way, look, the strategy of his career, you got to respect it. Because to be a dude that wasn't on top each of those years when he was on his run, but to still end up where he at, you got to respect the strategy, right? But at some point, his strategy stopped working. And you have people in this world that don't know when they've won, and they just keep going. You feel me? It's like the cat that's won the championship. It's like the cat that won the NBA championship, and instead of being in the locker room with the trophy, popping the bottles, you still on the court shooting because you still trying to prove something to everybody. Bro, you already won. You already won, but see, here's the thing. For some people, they can win, but in their mind, they don't feel like they won. In their mind, they don't feel like they won. Jay-Z was already there. Jay-Z had already cultivated a freaking mythical career. He had already cultivated an air of just pure superiority, and he messed it up. He messed it up. I'm gonna tell you how he messed it up. To the dude that was in here that said that I'm crazy, right? That I sound crazy. Okay, check this out. When you convince the world that you're a god, when you convince the world that you're a mythical legend, the worst thing you can do is to step down out of that celestial realm and argue with a human. You feel me? If you've cultivated this air of superiority to this deity level, and then you lower yourself to argue with somebody that's supposed to be beneath you, guess what? You just showed the world you are human. You just showed the world you're human. See, it's just like Leonidas said on 300 when he went at Xerxes. He said, I don't have to defeat him. I just have to show everybody he can bleed. See, Drake didn't have to defeat Jay. He just had to show everybody that he could affect him. And we saw it. I showed y'all, we did the show where he did that interview. He did that interview right before Iceman dropped. And he spoke on Drake. Why would he even bring it up? Why would he even bring it up? And look, for those of you that want to say, I don't know what I'm talking about, tell me that Jay-Z did not predict what he was going to do in Drake's song. What was the name of that song Jay-Z had with Drake where he said, Drake, this is how they're going to come at you? What was the name of that song, y'all? What was the name of that song? It was Pound Cake. No, it was Light Up. So on the second verse in Light Up, he said, oh, hoes turn their heads like owls. I'm the man of the hour. Triple entree, don't even ask me how. Con Edison flow. I'm connected to a higher power. Bright lights, I'll make your whole city light up. A 1 trillion watt light bulb when I'm in the nightclub. I just landed in that G450. Caught the Mayweather fight because the satellite was crispy. Y'all can miss me with the money talk. The smart money's on hold. Fuck what the dummies talk. I don't do too much blogging. First mistake. I just run the town. I don't do too much jogging. I ain't got a scar yet. Cause you fucking around with me and my dogs are far-fetched. Drake, here's how they're gonna come at you. With silly rap feuds trying to distract you. In disguise, in the form of a favor. The Barzini meeting, watch for the traitors. I done seen it all, done it all. That's why none of these dum-dums could done him off. The summer's ours, the winter too. Top down in the winter, that's what winners do. Bro, the funniest thing about this is he not only described perfectly what Kendrick was going to do, but he also described what he was going to do. That's what's so crazy about the shit. That's what's so crazy. He literally told on himself in the rap. Told on himself in the rap. But Cat's gonna come in here and tell me that I'm talking crazy. I'm not talking crazy. I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. Right now, Drake is considered by a lot of people to be the GOAT, and Jay-Z's ego can't handle it. That's all this is. That's all this is. And I know y'all like Jay-Z. I like Jay-Z, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't see what I'm seeing right in front of me. Jay-Z cannot handle Drake's success. He can't. That's the whole reason he put Kendrick on that damn Super Bowl stage. That's the entire reason. That's the entire reason, bro. Ain't nobody else gonna say it. I'll say it. Jay-Z's ego cannot handle Drake's success. It just is what it is. It just is what it is, bro. Said, how is Drake the GOAT when he can't leave his house because Kendrick body? You sound like a dumbass. You sound like an idiot. You sound like an idiot. Kendrick didn't body anybody. How the hell he body somebody and dude's still on top? Check this out, bro. This is how this works. If you take out your gun and shoot somebody with the intention of putting them in the grave, and they still walking around, you failed. You failed. All Kendrick is going to do is he going to be on hiatus for another couple of years. And then when he finally decides to make some music, he's going to get on somebody's feature and throw some more shots at Drake. That's all he going to do. Because that's what works for him. He's become a hip-hop shock jock. Every time he gets ready to try to do a album run, he got to throw shots at Drake. And this is what, and see, here's the funny thing, to the community, to the culture. Since when did y'all start respecting people that got to jump somebody? When did y'all start respecting that? I'm confused. When did y'all start respecting that? If Drake is so weak, why do so many niggas got to come at him at one time? Because that's the funny thing. Y'all keep acting like it was just Kendrick coming at him. That's what's so hilarious. That's what's so hilarious. Y'all got it in y'all's mind that Kendrick beat Drake, but you acting like Kendrick fought Drake by himself. And that's what makes it even worse. Them niggas teamed up to beat this man, and he still came out on top. And then every time somebody bring it up, you want to come in the chat room and talk, Kendrick, he didn't body nobody. Kendrick lame as hell. Them songs he put out was lame as hell, and you know it. You just don't like Drake. You hate him so much that you're willing to gas Kendrick up and pretend like he put out his best work when he put out his worst work. It's the Trump effect. You'll say anything. It's just like the niggas that hate Trump. They'll say anything to try to make Trump look bad because they don't like Trump. You're not a Kendrick fan. You a Drake hater. Let's just be clear about that. Let's just be clear about that. You not a Kendrick fan. You a Drake hater. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. If I had you come up on the panel right now and ask you a couple of questions, I could prove you not a Kendrick fan. Come in here with that goofy shit. That shit don't work. That shit don't work no more. First of all, that little goofy ass spell that Kendrick did, it never worked on me. It just worked on some of you niggas. But guess what? This shit wore off. A lot of people woke up from that bullshit. A lot of people online right now revisiting that beef. Like, now that I think about it, Kendrick really didn't win. Said Drake put out, hey there, Delilah, enough said. What's your point? Kendrick put out, beam back, boo, pow. The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand. What are we talking about? Kendrick put out G and X, garbage. What are we talking about? He put out Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, garbage. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? And you talking about Hey There, Delilah. You know how many people was bumping that shit? You know how many suburban white kids was playing that shit? Are you crazy? Are you dumb? And that's the other thing nobody wants to point out. Drake has been putting out quality music before the beef, during the beef, and after the beef. He never stopped. He never stopped. Before Iceman came out, The last song that was #1 on the freaking Billboard was "What Did I Miss" by Drake. What are you talking about? What planet are you living on? Because it damn sure ain't Earth. It can't be Earth. This dude said Drake is trash. Then what does that make all the other rappers? Said, remember blackface. Your dumb ass, you don't even know why he did the shit. You don't even know why he did the shit. He didn't even do that shit to make fun of black people. He did that shit to bring awareness about how black people were treated back in the day. You don't even know the history of the shit. With your stupid ass. You just in here repeating some shit that Pusha T said. Because his ass didn't even know. Said the light-skinned hate is real. You got that right. You got that right. You said, then why do it? There's literally a freaking documentary on YouTube why he did it. Literally. And here's the other thing, which is slow ass. You can't wear blackface when you're black. In order for it to be considered blackface, you have to actually be white. Matter of fact, let me say that again. In order for it to be considered blackface, you have to actually be white, which Drake is not. Bro, first of all, ain't nobody listening to no dude on the internet in a chat room with an icon instead of his actual photo. You don't even have your actual photo. But anyway, I've been on here long enough running my mouth. Let me get to these super chats.
It's that time again. We going up.
It's time to read the super chats.
What we got here. Shout out to Ian. He says, salute to the light-skinned God AM. What was Hove thinking? I don't even know, bro. Let's see. Shout out to H. Chris says, stay dropping jewels. Appreciate you. Shout out to Tahiri, says support. Shout out to Jim, he said for the game. Shout out to Rio, he said speaking that truth. Long time no see, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Tabor. I just now saw this, bro. Appreciate you for being a sponsor. He said, talk that shit, big dog. Let me put you on the board. Appreciate you, my G.
That's that Beano energy.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Appreciate you, fam. Let's see who else we got. Shout out to Tabor again. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the same? I think that's the same one. I may be bugging. Am I? Yeah, I'm bugging. That's the same one. I forgot. Oh my God, I forgot. I'm sitting there thinking y'all doubled up. And I keep forgetting I put my I forwarded my emails to one email, so I'm getting double notifications. I'm like, why is everybody doubling up? Having a dumb moment. But shout out to y'all for sponsoring the show. I appreciate you. Let's see. Shout out to, I think I read everybody's. Yeah, I read everybody's. On the Cash App side. Let's see. Shout out to Chip, said Hove is the master of capitalizing off the community. That's a fact. That is a fact. Shout out to the lowly one. Appreciate you. Shout out to Yosef for the 25-month membership. Said thank you for the cheat codes of life, AM, especially when it comes to modern day dating. Respect to you. Appreciate you. Shout out to C-Train. Said missed a few, but I'm here. Shout out to KO Black. Said I heard no lies. LOL. Shout out to 410 Carpenter Legend. Said me and you had this J conversation 6 years ago. No doubt. Shout out to Martin. He said a great story when Cam and Jules took Jay-Z Old Boy beat from Just Blaze. Later, Cameron erased Jay's attempts to get on the song. Let's see. Shout out to Martin again. He said Jay kept retiring. Once you keep telling us it's your last album, your last tour, etc., we're expecting not to see you or see you in another capacity. Yep. Shout out to RJ. Said Kendrick is average. Appreciate all of y'all for supporting the show. I'm about to get up out of here, and I'm going to holler at y'all later. Deuces.
The session is closed. The board is dismissed.
I gave you the blueprint, now go build a estate. Stop arguing with broke, man, stop debating with fate. We don't negotiate value, we dictate the price. You watch the show for free, I just gave you a slice. But the real ones know where the equity live. We taking everything, we got nothing to give. The manual is waiting, you know where it's at. This ain't a gamble, it's a guaranteed bet.
Go protect lead, go and plant the seed. Go protect lead, that's the code we need. Go to the side, secure the command. The Angryman channel, the standard of the land.
TheAngrymanChannel.com.
Get the shirt, get the book.
Start watching, start working. We up.
The session is closed. The board is dismissed.